A plane crash at Dillard Airport claims 2 lives. We'll have the latest on the investigation and what we know about the victims. Plus, a gas leak near Gage Park forces some people out of their homes. What happened? And we have the primary for Topeka mayor. We'll check the turnout at the polls. Good evening. I'm Melissa Bruner.
And I'm Ralph Hipp. Welcome in here at 6. Federal investigators are in Topeka this evening, continuing trying to figure out what caused the crash, killing a well-known Topeka doctor and his flight instructor.
The plane went down around 8:30 last night in a field at Billard Airport. If you're not familiar with the area, Billard is situated just west of the K4 Oakland Expressway, south of Highway 24. It was the north end of the airport where the plane went down.
Now, the Kansas Highway Patrol's first report is showing the twin-engine plane was traveling southeast to northeast, appearing to miss the runway and then hit the ground at a very high rate of speed. KHP reports the impact had flipped the plane 180 degrees and it stopped in the field between the runway and a taxi road to the airport terminal. When the plane went down at 8:30 last night, only one call went to 911 dispatchers, and that call came in from the National Weather Service office at Billard Airport. 13
Sean Wheat is live back at Billard tonight with what they heard and also an update on the investigation. Sean?
Well, Melissa, Ralph, several people who live southeast of the airport say they're actually used to hearing planes fly into the airport. But the last plane that they heard was a little louder and going faster than usual.
We've had the reports of the sounds, the motor not sounding right, plane coming in too fast, and that's all, we have to investigate it. This is still a pretty fresh incident.
The Kansas Highway Patrol is leading the investigation into what happened Monday night when a 1965 Piper PA-30 twin-engine aircraft crashed at Billard Airport. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board is also looking into the crash that killed 61-year-old William Leeds, a Topeka doctor, and 55-year-old James Bergman, a flight instructor from Leawood. Staff at the National Weather Service office discovered the crash.
We heard a noise, a thump, almost like you could feel the ground shake a little bit. And out of curiosity, we came out to look around. And after looking across the area here, we saw the plane that was down. And
they immediately called 911 and went to see if they could help those who were inside but could not.
Any other accident scene that you come, if you're one of the first people, you want to do everything you can to help. And in this case, we did everything that we felt we could do, call 911, and your hearts just go out to the families, and it is a sick feeling.
KHP says Dr. Leeds was flying the plane with Bergman, who was his co-pilot and flight instructor.
He was an experienced pilot and was working on just kind of upping his game with the aircraft and, extending his training.
Leeds was certified to fly a single-engine plane, while Bergman was a flight instructor and is listed to have several pilot licenses. Well, investigators with the NTSB and FAA arrived here at Billard Airfield early this morning, to help to try to determine exactly what had caused the plane to come down. They have not found a flight plan, which actually is not unusual when it comes to instruction flights or for a training flight. Also, the Billard Tower closes at 7 o'clock in the evening, which means there was no communication between the plane and the tower at that time. One thing we do want to give you information, we actually have started to see airplanes take off and land here at Billard Airport. That means the airport is now back open and the plane itself has been moved. We're waiting to hear from officials exactly where it's been moved.
All right, Sean Wheat with the update live at Billard tonight. Family, friends, patients, and colleagues are all remembering Dr. William Leeds today as someone who made everyone feel like family and whose care for his patients knew no limits.
He was an amazing man with a tremendous heart.
Dr. William Leeds founded Topeka Pulmonary in 1998. Today, called Pulmonary and Sleep Associates, he treated people with breathing and sleeping disorders. His operations manager, Hope Biggs, says for Dr. Leeds, it was more than a job.
He was so passionate about making people feel better, making their lives better. I can't tell you how many patients that he has absolutely, completely changed their life.
In addition to the Topeka office, Leeds held outreach clinics once a month in Hiawatha, Onega, Burlington, Parsons, and Garden City. Their latest trip there captured in this Facebook post. Biggs said he'd fly the staff to get to the patients.
He was very passionate about patients in rural communities having access to specialists.
And he was passionate about sharing his knowledge, whether in news interviews,
that would be like a balloon,
or more recently, an online video series with Your Sleep Doc.
To see if we can enlighten everybody about sleep.
All of it done, Biggs said, with a genuine heart.
Each and every one of us feels like we are his family, and he made you feel that way.
Looking back in our archives today, Biggs said they are working with physicians to make arrangements for patients. They hope to know some more details to pass along within the next few days. Now, the airplane was owned by James Guglielmino. He's a veterinarian in Mission, Kansas. He declined to speak on camera today, but these photos are photos of the plane that he shared with KCTV. He told them that he has known both Dr. Bill Leeds and James Kevin Bergman for several years. He estimated Bergman had about 100 hours in the plane, while Leeds had 50 to 60 hours and was actually set to take his twin-engine rating test tomorrow. Guglielmino says he kept the plane in Topeka because it was nice and hangar space was inexpensive. He believes they were flying out of Topeka last night. He added that he had just seen Dr. Leeds Sunday in Lawrence. Again, federal investigators are in Topeka. They have removed the plane from the crash site. We will be following the investigation and bring you any updated information as it's available. Ralph?
We will indeed on that, Melissa. Thank you. And as you saw it live at noon, construction crews working near Topeka Zoo hit a gas line today, and that forced the evacuation of several homes. 13's Erica Hall is live in the Gage Park area with the latest information.
Thanks, Ralph. The gas line was actually closed off early this afternoon, and people are already in their homes. TPD says they got a call around 10:15 this morning, and by 11, fire crews began evacuating homes north of the leak and told visitors at the zoo to go to the shelter on the north side of their grounds. 6th Avenue closed last month for road work that is expected to take a full year. The gas line that ruptured was connected to that work. Fire Marshal Mike Martin says the gas was able to escape into the air and dissipate, reducing the danger to others. Martin says by 2:30 this afternoon, everyone was allowed to return to their homes and pilot lights were relit. Folks who were not home during the gas leak will have a tag left on their door telling them where to call to get their pilot light turned on. And as always, if you do still smell gas in your home, do report it to police or call 911 as soon as possible. Reporting live in Topeka, Erica Hall, 13 News.
Erica, thank you very much. One person's been killed in a single vehicle crash in Brown County early today. The Highway Patrol says 48-year-old Joseph Tasipic of Horton was in a car rear-ended by a semi-truck driver around 7 a.m. That driver was 46-year-old Ronald Brook of Willis and was southbound on US 75 and stopped while waiting to turn onto K20 when his car was hit. Willis was brought to Stormont Vale with possible injuries, and that tractor-trailer driver, 46-year-old Joseph Little, is from North Dakota, not injured. KHP says that Little may simply not have seen Brooks' car.
A Texas man is behind bars tonight for a string of burglaries around the Topeka area. Robert Reeves III of Dallas was booked for burglary, theft, and criminal damage. He's accused of burglarizing two businesses July 29th, Saturday, one in the 2800 block of Wanamaker, the second in the 2600 block of Northeast Sardu. A vehicle involved in the burglaries was located and seized. Search warrants on that vehicle and a hotel room uncovered some others involved in the crimes, according to police. The new CEO of one of Topeka's longest-running organizations took the reins today with hopes of moving it above and beyond the good work they've already done. Today was Jessica Leonard's first day as boss of the United Way of Greater Topeka. She had been with the executive director of CASA of Shawnee County. She's taken the helm of the United Way from interim CEO Carol Wheeler, who will continue to serve as community-wide chair for the upcoming campaign. A large donation will help Vallejo Behavioral Health restart its primary health services. The St. Francis Foundation donated $250,000 to Vallejo today so Vallejo can reopen that on-site clinic. While Vallejo focuses on mental health, a partnership between Vallejo, Washburn University School of Nursing, and St. Francis had to be dissolved as St. Francis went up for sale earlier this year. The money now will help run the clinic for 2 years while Vallejo comes up with a long-term funding plan. Of course, the clinic offers quick access to those who need the services. And in addition to the grant, the St. Francis Community Partners Organization donated an extra $5,000 to help with the clinic.
1st of August, that's what the calendar says, Melissa. We had an early fall day weather-wise, it seemed like.
August on a mild note.
Yeah.
Jeremy Goodwin's in the Weather Center to let us know if we're warming back up soon.
Hi, Ralph, Melissa. After the extreme heat we saw much of July, it seems like almost anything is comfortable. And right now, with temperatures in the 80s, dew points in the 60s, it is a big, big contrast to the extreme heat and humidity we had last month. Now we begin August and it's more comfortable, at least for today. Our temperatures outside have been comfortable today. Mostly sunny conditions overhead. That view is from the top of the Jayhawk Tower. Our parish hotels, Ramada Hotel and Convention Center camera. A few fair weather cumulus clouds as the sun sets this evening. Even those clouds are likely to dissipate. We'll see generally clear skies. Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker, all dry in northeast Kansas with temperatures remaining very comfortable at 84 in Topeka, Marysville 86, Hiawatha has 86, and our overnight low should be comfortable as well, down to 64, giving the air conditioning a break. And then tomorrow 88, but low humidity. That's the hottest day for a while. We'll have a chance of rain this weekend and temperatures likely in the low 80s. Your full 8-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Jeremy. The race for Topeka mayor will be cut from 5 to 2 tonight.
Yes, there is a mayor's race going on in Topeka this evening. We'll take a closer look at the voting process with 1 hour to go in the mayoral election primary when 13 News continues in just a moment.
You're watching 13 News at 6 with Melissa Bruner and Ralph Hipp. 13 News, Kansas News Leader. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Topeka voters have less than an hour remaining to cast your vote to help narrow the field for mayor from 5 to 2.
Very important race and very important story for you tonight. 13's Daniela Leon is live at the county elections office. Daniela, how's the turnout?
Yeah, you have less than an hour to come on out and cast your vote for sitting mayor before those polls close at 7 o'clock tonight. All throughout the day, voters have been coming in and out as they try to narrow down that mayor's seat to 2 people. Elections Commissioner Andrew Howell told us this is typically their lowest turnout election and predicted a 12% voter turnout earlier this week. I spoke to him about an hour ago and says his prediction is on the right track.
This is our lowest turnout election of the 4 that we have. The city's primary is typically the lowest turnout. I think we're right on target for about 12% turnout based on what we're seeing so far. Typically, if there are other ballot questions or other council races on the ballot, then you'll tend to see a little higher turnout. But for just a mayor only, it's probably kind of right in the norm of what we tend to see.
And Commissioner Howell predicted we will be getting those advanced ballot results around 7:30 or so tonight and said the final results should be coming in between 8:30 and 8:45. Ralph?
All right, Daniela Leon, thank you. We were hoping it might be higher than 12. Appreciate that. Of course, as you know, Melissa, the legislature had moved municipal elections to the late summer, early fall to boost the turnout, get it more instead of in the springtime elections with very low turnout. There was only about a 4 or 5% voter turnout in the mayor's race last time.
In the primary election, so we'll see what happens later tonight.
Yeah. Sunny skies coming back as August is back. Fortunately, the intense heat has still stayed away.
Pretty pleasant by summer standards, and Jeremy even has some more rain in the forecast. He's in next.
This is your 13 weather forecast with Jeremy Goodwin.
Less than 3 weeks away from the solar eclipse, much of northeast Kansas seeing a total solar eclipse from Marysville to Hiawatha and Atchison. Topeka sees about 98.9% obscuration of the sun, and it'll be dark enough in some areas to actually see stars out just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon on August the 21st. To learn more about the solar eclipse, go to wibw.com/eclipse. Pretty amazing stuff, and of course we'll talk about it more as we get closer to the actual event. But outside today, we've seen a beautiful day. High temperature 85 in Topeka. The average high will be 90 for the 1st of August. We tend to see humidity higher than this and temperatures higher than 85. Our morning low is all the way down to 61 degrees, finally getting a break for the air conditioning for many folks. 90 is considered the average high, and during much of July, we saw the heat index above 100. It seemed like almost every day, and even getting to the 110 to 120 range at times. So this low humidity and a cooler air, certainly a nice way to start the new month. Outside now, skies are mostly clear. That view from the top of the Jayhawk Tower, our parish hotels, Ramada Hotel and Convention Center camera. And as the evening progresses, skies will become almost completely clear with no rain chance tonight whatsoever. We're expecting to see dry weather all day tomorrow and temperatures a little warmer. Here's the view from Emporia, the Emporia cam provided by ValueNet Fiber, looking down toward the Lyon County Fairgrounds. The carnival part of the fair goes beginning Thursday of this week. So they're getting that all prepared for folks to go out and have a great time. And the clouds on the horizon, one trying to get a little vertical there. It won't make very much progress, but one of those cumulus clouds becoming a little taller. And certainly that's what you would look for if something was going to produce rain, but I don't think it's going to have any chance of actually getting tall enough, big enough, or strong enough to produce any precipitation. So we're dry this evening. Humidity stays low, and if you're going out for a walk, jog, or anything you need to do outside, this should be a gorgeous evening for whatever you need to do out there. Just enjoy it. Capital Federal Live Storm Tracker, everything is dry. Temperatures remain in the mid-80s. For this time of the year, that is very comfortable, lower than average, and these dew points make those temperatures feel even nicer. The heat index, not a problem at all, with a dew point of 60 in Lawrence, 61 in Hiawatha. Much of the last month, we've seen those numbers ranging from 70 to 80, so much lower humidity in the air, making for a more comfortable feel, and it's easier to get outside and get any chores done when the dew points and the temperatures are lower like this. Water vapor imagery showing our air mass moving in from the north. It's a Canadian air mass. It comes from a much drier region, obviously, and no precipitation in our area. So today we made 85 in Topeka. Tomorrow we'll see highs in the upper 80s, still below average, and the humidity should remain low, so another nice day, just a bit warmer than it was this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and 64. Tomorrow will be in the upper 80s, mostly sunny skies, no rain chance at all. 8-day forecast will get cooler from there with highs in the low 80s from Thursday right on through the weekend. Our next chance of seeing rain would be on Thursday.
Jeremy, thanks so much. We are closing in on football season, so we'll tee up the Emporia State football team to see what they need to do to get to the next level.
Also on the basketball front, Coach Bruce Weber at K-State. He'll be hanging around with us a little bit longer. We'll talk with the AD about his contract extension next.
13 Sports with Chris Lilly.
Hello everyone, Bruce Weber will be sticking around Manhattan a little bit longer after he agreed to a contract extension today. Weber is now under contract through the 2020-2021 season. In 5 seasons, Weber has led the Wildcats to a 168 record, and he's taken them to the NCAA tournament 3 times. Weber will make $2.15 million next year, and his salary will increase by $100,000 each season. New K-State Athletics Director Gene Taylor says he's happy to keep Weber at K-State.
Obviously, when I got here, Bruce was one of the first guys I met with, and I think I've mentioned before, you know, the folks that I know in the business of college basketball in particular that I trust before I got here said a lot of good things about Bruce. And in the last, couple of months, just watching him and getting to know him and really watching his players respond to him, both his current players and his former players, I've seen them come back, and just the more I enjoyed talking to him, I just felt it was the right time and try to, wanted to extend his contract, and I just feel comfortable with Bruce.
The Emporia State Hornets were ranked second in both MIAA preseason polls, but as 13 Sports' Jonathan Deutsch tells us, they haven't just been able to jump ahead of the team in front of them.
The Emporia State Hornets bookended their 2016 season with double-digit losses to the eventual national champions, Northwest Missouri. The schedule makers have a sense of humor as those two teams will meet in week 1 of this year, and the Hornets are ready for the challenge.
Well, we've played them enough, and we're very familiar with them. I don't think that we haven't ever beaten them since I've been there. So whether we play them first game of the year, last game of the year, middle part of the season, I don't think it matters. I mean, you gotta face them at some point.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's frustrating, but the way I look at it, we've lost to them every time we play them the last 2 years, and they won the national championship both times. So, I mean, you can't beat yourself too much about that, but yeah, it's frustrating.
They're a great program. They've done some great things, and they're definitely a measuring stick of where we want to be, and to get to that point, we need to beat them.
Emporia State has lost 5 games in the last 2 seasons. 4 of them have been to Northwest Missouri. We'll see what happens on August 31st when these two teams kick off the 2017 football season. Reporting from Children's Mercy Park, Jonathan Deutsch, 13 Sports.
Thanks for that, Jonathan. It's good to have football talk back in the air, and that is it for sports. Back to y'all.
And a little bit of basketball, too, and congrats to Coach Weber and some hoops action for you on the sports as well.
We're feeling a little bit of that football feel in the air. Some coolness overnight. Jeremy's back to let us know if it sticks around next.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
It's been a very comfortable day across the area. Low humidity making mid-80s feel even more comfortable, but tonight's low 64. Another comfortable night. Air conditioning gets a break. 88 tomorrow. Lots of sun, low humidity, light north wind, beautiful summer day. And the 8-day forecast, we have a chance of thunderstorms Thursday and a high of 82. Low 80s this weekend and rain chances both days.
All right. We have a couple of NCISs for you and Bull, and one of the suspenseful things around here, who's going to win that mayor primary?
The top 2 advance to the November ballot. We will keep you updated on numbers throughout the night on our Facebook page and on WIBW.com. We'll see you at 10.
And the latest news, weather, and sports at WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter, Facebook, and our mobile app. Thank you for making 13 News the most watched evening newscast.